how the Idol episode 2 made the show worse.
This video will contain spoilers from the off, so remember, you've been warned. The second
You seen
episode
it said the Idol won't be renewed for season 2?
Yeah, but they said it was a lie.
of The Idol has been released, and it's safe
It's
to
literally
say
the biggest
that
show in the world right now, literally, right?
I don't know.
Because I've seen a statistic, it literally saying this is literally the biggest show in the world. It had a bigger opening day than
Yeah, but I heard it fell off.
other stuff.
Following
they said
on
it's
from
still
the
going,
first
bro.
episode that most certainly
Why?
divided opinions and proved to be something that people questioned. After watching this latest installment, it's safe to say that the theme is most definitely going to be following suit throughout the entirety of this show. There was potential in this episode, and a moment where I thought that it was going to improve. But
Yeah,
the
like the start, you were thinking like, oh no, this finna get good. Then it just like, what was the final 20 minutes of the episode even about? We were literally just watching them have a 2-man.
Horrible.
final third was what really put the nail in the coffin, and confirmed that this show is most probably not going to live up to the potential that lies within. So with that, I
This
thought
show
I'd
could be
break
so
down
good
and explain why episode
with the
2
concept.
made the show worse. So let's get into it. Here is how The Idol episode 2 made the show worse.
Do you think episode 1 was better or episode 2 was better? I think
They were both
I'm
equally bad.
No, I think episode 1 might have been better just because that ending, the last, like, if episode 2 kept going the way it was going, it would have been fire.
They were equally bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Episode 2 was like a 3. Episode 1 was like a 4.5. 4. Because at least episode 1 we were going somewhere. Episode 2 we were literally going nowhere.
They both went nowhere.
Just to let you know, this video will contain
You're
spoilers.
literally insane. But
I'll be
thank you for
breaking
the
this
promo.
video down into a couple of main sections, but I will also be addressing what was good about the episode towards the end. One problem that
Towards
I
the
realized
end?
with this show is the character
Bro
Tedros,
said the
which is
scenes were
played by The
fire.
Weeknd. I felt like the episode was going pretty well until The Weeknd got involved in the final third. I don't know if
Exactly.
it's because the character isn't giving much away at the moment, but I just found the performance of Tedros to be a little off. This is a character where there should
Drax
be
that. Like, yo, he's a little sick.
A little
a
off.
lot
He
of
is
mystery,
literally a
fear,
sick
and
weirdo.
questions around him, along
He's
with
a
us
sex
wondering
cult.
about his origin and his intentions. But I find myself just being a little put off by the delivery of the lines. I could most probably put part of the blame on the writing as much as the performance, as the
Literally,
lines
who
are
wrote the
quite stale.
dialogue?
But the delivery of them
And
is
it's even worse if that was like what's it called? When it's like not written, so you gotta
Improv.
improv. Yo, if that was improv, oh my gosh.
I doubt it was improv.
So someone wrote that dialogue. Like, which one's worse, bro?
Sam Levinson
too.
wrote that.
We did have
Sick
some
guy.
characters throughout the episode guessing about him and wondering who he was, but it was just too out there and obvious. We as the audience
That
should
was
be
like a
intrigued
random
by
part
the
of the show.
character,
Like they
and
randomly
just
went off
not.
about Tedros.
He only seems to be
Yeah,
involved.
like where did his name? Like, I thought when they were bringing him up, like he was gonna come inside the set.
They
or
didn't.
something.
They didn't even reveal like where they heard the name from.
Yeah, like when they were mentioning, I thought he was gonna like come to the music video and like save the day for her, and like she was gonna like when he came into the music video. Well, I didn't think he was gonna be in the music video, but I thought he was gonna come on set. And when he came on set, she was gonna do the music video the right way, and then it would be good. But he never even came. Like, why would they even talk? How did his name even come up in the conversation?
In the scenes that are just extremely graphic, and even though he's a character that has an extremely straight face most of the time, it doesn't strike the intimidation or mystery that a character like his should. When I watched the trailer for episode 3, it did seem as though there was
Can we
going
watch
to be
the
a
trailer?
little more to the character, which is something that I
No.
feel could go one of two ways. It's either going to allow Tedros to shine, or it could expose The Weeknd's acting if it isn't quite up to scratch. Currently, I would say that he is most probably the weakest link in the cast, but that could change as time goes on. He works best when he's in the scenes on his own and on the phone. When in a room alongside Lily Rose Depp, I feel his skills do come across slightly worse than hers. Tedros is a puppet master, and he has everybody on
Literally,
strings,
just
as
like
was
Colonel Rose.
personified by the large puppets in his
Ironic.
club.
No, but
Isaac,
literally,
Chloe,
yeah, he
Brianne,
does have a
and
bunch
many
of
others,
puppets, bro.
Soon to be Joss.
I
just
said
feel
that
we've
already.
Not dug deep enough into the mystery to
Did
truly.
you forget when I literally said that?
Okay, put on the video.
Like, I should become a reviewer. King Zaya Plus reviewing.
Are you gonna
understand
upload your
why
idol
he's doing
reaction
this
to
and spark
King's
the
Plus?
interest. And by now,
Hell
as
no.
we're embarking onto episode 3, I feel we should have the pacing. I was quite enjoying the first half of the episode, but there was one main thing that stuck out about it that made it feel slightly jarring when watching. This was the pacing of it. It felt extremely choppy and jumpy throughout the cuts, and the timing of the way that it was delivered to us felt quite unnatural. If it was a stylistic choice due to the fact that Joss was feeling overwhelmed by everything that was going on, then I would have completely understood that. But I didn't get the impression that it was done for that
they could have
reason.
done it in a way
It just
better
felt
way.
like a conversation would happen, then we'd cut to another shot, and so much time would have passed.
That is true. Like that's why I was so confused because it felt like it was leading up to something.
This show is bad, man.
You know what's
That's
going
all
on?
I really
Or
gotta
even the
say.
mood would
This
have
show
felt slightly
sucks.
different to what we just saw, so there was a bit of a disconnect. It was something that really prevented that first section of the episode to truly shine, as it was the best part of the episode, the graphic nature. In episode 1, Lily Rose Depp was walking around with next to nothing on for the most part of the episode, so episode 2 was a slight improvement on that, but it's safe to say that the graphic nature of the show isn't going to be going anywhere anytime soon. One of the final scenes really summed it up and showed us that it's a large part of the identity of the show. The scene between Tedros and Joss at the end was extremely full-on in the language that was being spoken and what was being shown to us.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that it pushes the
Way
boundaries,
too
as
much,
you
bro,
don't
like-
usually see that on TV, but I just don't know if it's necessary.
It was way too
It doesn't
much.
add to the show. If anything, it just provides cringy dialogue that you'd see if you were watching something else.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
don't think it actually brings that much to the show. It gives talkability, but not
I
for
feel
the
like
right.
The Weeknd is just trying to build content to be too when he doesn't have a girl to talk to.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like listen, when the Weeknd's home alone, has no one to talk to, he just goes to the show and watches himself.
This is
Reasons
That's
provide a
crazy.
talkability factor due to the quality of the show, not the extreme nature of some of the scenes. So what was good about it? Again, like I said last week in my video on episode 1, the concept is definitely there. For the first half of the episode, it actually felt like we had some important, consequential dialogue. Something which was an improvement on episode 1. Whether it be Nikki making Joss aware that she would crumble without her, or watching Joss lose her sanity on set
Or
and
even
want to be a
Abby.
perfectionist. We saw the struggle of an individual who had lost her mother, was spiraling out of control, and didn't know how to navigate the space without her. I found it so interesting, and it was most definitely the most interesting part of the episode.
Yeah, that's the best part
At
of the
moment
episode,
that
I'm not gonna
Tedros
lie.
came back on screen, I felt like the whole
No,
mood,
literally,
tone,
as soon
direction,
as they
and
showed
feel
him
of
for the
the
first time, it fell off.
It literally feels like a whole different show.
Like they showed him being a slave master, and then the show never recovered.
Like literally, it goes from like that emotional. If it goes from like emotional documentary about an artist, it feels like to literally that one show. I forgot what it's called. It's like no, it goes from a documentary about an artist to Temptation Island. Like literally.
Yeah,
Like-
it's disgusting, bro.
episode changed. No longer was it this piece that allowed us to see inside of Joss's mind, but instead it turned into the Weeknd just seducing her, and us just seeing graphic scenes on screen again. It's just too much, and I don't feel as though it's needed. Some can work, but it's just relentless with
Sam
this show,
Levinson
and it
is
takes
not,
away from
like,
the
slick.
potentially
We know
strong
what you're
story
doing.
that lies within. We saw somebody suffering, struggling, and battling for her place to belong, but her mind just couldn't take it anymore. And I thought that was something that was extremely powerful to witness, especially the fact that you could tell that all of those people in the room would turn on Joss if the moment arose, which it seemed as though Nikki was doing by getting Diane to sign a deal with her and potentially replace Joss. Diane's connection to Tedros is also something that is interesting. I almost feel like this show would have been a lot better without the cult aspect of it, and if we were just watching a character trying to navigate the industry, struggling with her mental health and a sense of belonging following the death of her mother. But
Would've been
unfortunately,
fire,
it
sure.
doesn't seem like that's going to be happening. I would also say that Lily Rose Depp's performance as Joss was something that was very well performed in this episode.
Yeah, I
She
agree.
had some tough scenes to deliver
no,
in
her
terms
acting
of
is
trying
really
to get
good.
the emotions across the screen and channeling the mindsets of somebody who was struggling deeply with the feelings that were going on inside of their head. And I would say that she did a really good job at that. A much better performance than what was in episode 1. She was definitely the best performer in this episode. The reason that
I mean, she
episode
was
2...
the best performer in every episode so far.
made the show worse is because it confirmed that the extremely strong concept that lies within the core of this show is going to be something that's a secondary thought in the plot and will only be touched on and used as a means to allow Tedros to exploit Joss, rather than it being the main focus.
Literally, the plot
which
is
I think
only
would have
there
made
so
the
they
show
don't think
better.
it's literally just a sex show.
Bro, like it's
just
actually
there to
gonna be
fill.
mad. They're like this show could be good, but like they just
No, that's why it's annoying because this show could be. What do you think about it? This show could be amazing. With the
So-
concept of her bringing in the new signee, and then there being like a label debate, and her maybe leaking her own music. Like there could be so many plot holes, and they're just making it a sex cult, literally.
Lily Rose Depp is good during those emotional
What
scenes.
do you think?
I think the show could be good, but Sam Levinson is so sex driven and drug driven that he just allowed himself to create this it looks wonderful, it sounds wonderful, but at the end of the day it's not wonderful, bro. Like it's too focused on the stuff that it should not be focused on. We get it, you like sex in your shows. You don't have to have it like that though. Like come on, bro.
Yeah, like Power has sex in their shows, but they're not ODing. Like they're doing too much.
But whenever she's with Tedros, we don't really get any of that.
You
That's
don't even
when we
get
get
no
the
emotion
dialogue.
with her for real. Like she'll talk about stuff that she was mad emotional about before and talk about it like it's normal around potatoes. Like it's so weird.
That doesn't flow as well, and the scenes that are so far from what could be good about this show. So for that reason, it's a shame, and it means that The Idol will most likely be a show that will not live up to the potential that it has lying within it. I guess time will tell. I think episode 3 will be a large test for it, because the groundwork has now been done. I feel it's going to go one of two ways. So, there you have it, how The Idol episode 2 made the show worse. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I